I popped over to Germany at the end of March. My driver's license got lost in the post, so I couldn't test drive vans. Gosh, it was a rigmarole. Long story short, I went to register as a resident in Germany and apply for a new driver's license to convert my lost English license into a German license. I'm at the German licensing authority trying to get my license. I've got proof that I have a license. Fingers crossed. Luckily they gave me a temporary license which is on a piece of paper saying that I can still drive, so yeah, that's how I've been test driving vans so far, although not one person has asked me for a license yet. So I've been hunting for vans in Germany. I'm staying on Rügen Island, which I think I'm very lucky to be doing. It's beautiful, as you can see. I've just found a van online, so we are currently on the way to the train station. I'll arrive somewhere in the middle of Germany tonight at 8:30, I think, then another train 9:30, and then the lady that I'm buying the van from is meeting me there. She's picking me up. I'm in Buchen. I missed the connecting train because the other train was delayed, which is very unusual for Germany, and there's another train coming at 6:10, so the whole journey has been delayed by an hour or so, which means I'll be at the van at about 10:30 tonight. I am in Kassel. Ta-da! That took ages for me to get right, huh? Buying those tickets was a challenge. Wow. Okay, and I'm headed there. Man, it's been a long journey. On the tram. Yeah. The inside of the cab is very comfortable. These seats are absolutely amazing. The good things now. They swivel, so they'll swivel around into the back, both of them. Anyway, there's a lot of space in the front. It's really comfy to drive. It sounds good. Okay, so this is the situation with the roof. I'm like the shortest person in the world, and I can't stand. I think that's going to be a problem. And then over here, oh, the tires seem pretty good. Yeah, the undercarriage is nice and neat. Unfortunately, I'm at the train station in, where am I? Gosh, I don't know. Kassel. That was a big city. I slept in a tiny home that night. The woman was kind enough to offer her place to stay because I only arrived at midnight because there was a delay with the trains, so I ended up by sleeping in her little mini house at the back of the garden, which was actually really cool. And we had supper together. This place is totally magical. It's so cute. Alright, so last night I stayed in this mini house. It's really cute. They had fairy lights on there. We sat and we had dinner there. She made this delicious like cauliflower soup with like a hint of curry flavour. It was lovely. And then the bed, that's where I slept. And then I loved the ship window. Here's the little mini house. How cool. So that was a good experience, but also that van never worked out just because I couldn't stand in it. It was a really nice little van, but there was no standing room, so it's a bit of a problem because I want to live in the van and travel. So that was the other van that went plop. I found another van. I'm off to see that today. It's a 7-hour train trip, so not as grueling as the last one. Also, I'm on my way to the shops to buy snacks. I've learned this time it's good to travel with a bit of food because last time I got like a little bit of a hangry bear. Not that I was hangry, I was just sad. So I figured food will help. This van is in North Germany. I actually don't know where I'm going yet. I need to look at my train ticket, but it's North Germany. I leave at 9 o'clock this morning and I will get there at 4:30 this afternoon. I don't know where I'm going to stay tonight. If all goes well, I will buy the van and stay in the van. If not, I may stay with the lady. If not, I may find an Airbnb or jump on a train and come straight back. I went there a few days ago, maybe it was 3 or 4 days ago. That was a long trek. The van turned out to be a piece of tin rubbish. It was no good. The inside was amazing, everything was there. There was a little fridge and everything you could dream of, but the actual van was terrifying to drive. So yeah, I left that behind and I couch surfed for the night. I asked the woman that owned the van if I could sleep there and she said yes, so that was kind of her. She didn't speak a word of English, so we got by with a bit of sign language and a few words. Da-da-dum, dum, da-dum, dum, dum, da-dum. Van viewing is not going so well.
I think I'm gonna go get some socks.
Yeah, let's get some socks and some comfort food. Have we got chocolate? Maybe wine.
Oh, you know what? The shops are open today.
And now I've found two more. The one is in Jena, which is about 560 kilometers from where I am. And the other one is in Munich, which is 900 kilometers away. And I can't get my head around going to look at these vans. Maya has a friend in Jena, maybe that'll be a place to stay. Who knows? Hopefully I will have some good news to report, and hopefully I'll come away with a van this time. Who knows? Yeah, fingers crossed. There's my platform. This train station is like a shopping center and a train station all in one. How cool is that? Almost halfway there. Changed masks because many coppers on the trains. So everyone except me seems to be thinking I'll be driving back to Rügen in a van. I like the positive vibes, I really do. But this is the third van viewing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not optimistic, but yeah, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. So let's see what tomorrow morning holds. Okay, I'm on the tram. I went to see the van this morning, and it's up in the air. They're busy fixing it, which I found quite hilarious. He didn't communicate that to me. He's getting it ready for its tooth, which is a good thing. All the wheels are off. It looks really solid. He's changed the door, so it's not so battered anymore, which is fantastic. He says it's going to take 3 days to get the tooth done. Alrighty, so I'm missioning around here now. I just came to the university to check it out, mainly because I wanted to find a place to pee, but yeah, it's all closed up. Finding toilets in cities is hard, not gonna lie. Yeah, I look forward to the days of having a van and a place to pee all the time. Wouldn't that be great? This is the coolest shop. I just went and did some clothes shopping. This is one of the cutest towns. Look at this. How cool is that? Nice fruit stall. Alrighty, update on the opal. I went to go see it today. It passed its tooth, which is a big relief. There is a comment on the tooth about mysterious oil leak in the engine. So I'm just trying to get more information on that. I just need to establish where that oil leak is coming from. So I've paid for tempering number plates. Once I have temp plates, I can actually take it for a proper ride and drive it to a garage perhaps to get the engine checked. So that is my plan. Oh my gosh, that is so German, those tables in the distance there. Here's my little potential van. Update on the car buying saga. I am still in Jena and I found a mechanic to have a look at it on Monday. I phoned a mechanic on Saturday, spoke to this really friendly guy that spoke English, but obviously language barriers are really crap and he totally misunderstood what I wanted. So it turns out they can't do the vehicle inspection today. So yeah, back to square one. A vehicle that needs to be inspected before I can buy it and no mechanic to inspect it. How do you get around this stuff? Looking underneath. More roast. Okay.
It's not so good.
Not so good. Okay.
3,000 Euro. Not.
No.
3,000 Euro. This is original.
Yeah.
No?
Okay.
Original
here.
Original.
Yeah.
Und drüben haben gesehen, ja.
I see the difference.
Ja.
But it's okay. It's okay. At least I know. Otherwise, I would have bought a lot of trouble.
Hier geht's auch weiter. Ich will gar nicht fummeln. Hier, wenn man ab.
Ja.
Das ist blank ab. Very rust.
Okay.
4. Zack, zack.
Hey.
Ja, zack, zack, zack.
Yeah.
Ja.
Okay.
TÜV
is no good.
TÜV is not good.
Okay. Aye. So
Not for TÜV.
it shouldn't have passed the tooth. What you're trying to say? Okay.
Baurohre. Das ist
Alright.
nur eine Bauschlampe gewesen.
Vielen Dank.
Na, Bauschlampe, da steht Toshiba dran, also ich denke mal eher
Ja, Bauschlampe.
ein Elektro. Ja,
Here's the tooth.
Bremsbittergummi fehlt.
He says no good because the rust is going through the floor and the oil is pouring out the engine, so for me that's no good. Basically that van was a bit of a write-off. The guy that checked it was so comical, he was so thorough and he was just so cool. I actually didn't think I'd come out of that feeling good, but I do because of the honesty and the, like, he just walked on the van and he kept on going, nein, scheiße. And I was like, I don't understand German, but I understand that. And they saved me thousands, so I'm very grateful. Now I'm trying to find my way back to the city, and I found this pretty river, so I'm just going to look at it for a while. Yeah. I woke up this morning in 2 minds about this trip because buying a van is stressful. But here I am. And the train is almost here. Here it comes. I am sitting at Buchen train station in Germany for I think the 3rd time now. I've been van hunting for the last 2 months. I took about a 2-week break this time because I decided not to buy a van after the last trip to Jena when I was nearly ripped off. I've had this goal to get a van and travel Europe for years and years and years, and everything seemed to be aligning and going well till I actually got on into Germany to try and buy the van. So things went a bit pear-shaped. I'm here in Germany in summer trying to buy a van when every person on earth wants a van. Everyone wants to buy a van to go on holiday because it's a freaking pandemic and COVID and it's the only way to really holiday and social distance. So every Tom, Dick and Harry wants a van, and Stephanie is in the middle of Germany trying to find a van at the same time as everybody else. And it's been challenging. It's been really, really challenging. I've learned a lot. I have a couple of regrets that I'm still trying to work through. If you check back to the beginning of the video, that little green van that I first looked at, yeah, that's one of them. Anyway, we live and learn, and we cannot live and regret. So yeah, I'm working through that still. That's still niggling at me. Another long train ride. Now I'm on my way to Hanover. A Volkswagen T4 diesel. It's a 1994 model. It's a high top. It's done 300,000 kilometers, so its mileage is high, but it's a reasonable price for the current market. I think it's a bit overpriced, but yeah, we'll see when we get there how good it is. From what I've learned so far, mileage is irrelevant. It's how a van's looked after. The van that I went to see in Jena had done 150,000, which is not high mileage, and it was stuffed. Absolutely stuffed, so mileage is irrelevant. A friend of mine reminded me recently, a good old friend of mine in South Africa, we've been friends for years and years. Shout out to Andrea, if you're watching this. She reminded me that I'm a rock star, and I thought it was hilarious. I was like, why on earth do you think I'm a rock star? Other than the fact that I play the trumpet, which is not really rock starish at all. It's very classical and jazzy and not rock starish. Anyway, we like to think we're rock stars as trumpet players, but we're not really. Yeah, she said to me, you're a rock star. So I'm like, what? Why? Why am I a rock star? She says, well, look what you did. I'm like, what did I do? She's like, you got up and left South Africa during the middle of a pandemic. The whole world was upside down. You got on a plane and you evacuated the country and you went to England and you made some money, and then you flew again from England to Germany in the middle of another lockdown series and pandemic and all that shit. And you're now looking for your dream van and you're going to travel some more and travel Europe. And it suddenly dawned on me that yeah, I guess it has been kind of, it's been cool, and yes, I suppose it is daring, but it's just my personality and it's just what I needed to do, so I did it. So I didn't think anything about it, but she seems to think what I've done is pretty awesome, which is nice to hear. So yeah, so far my journey has been, it's been interesting. I had a goal about 3 years ago, maybe more even now, to get a van and travel. I decided that Europe was actually where I wanted to be, and I was going to take my dogs across to Europe by a van, and that was going to be how it was going to go. And then the pandemic hit and life went, everything turned upside down. Got to England and I worked as a live-in carer for 7 months, which was never a part of my plan. But I did it, and I looked after a wonderful old man. I learned a lot from that old man. He made me rethink life a lot and appreciate my youth and go and forge ahead and seize the moment, you know. And then I met a friend online and we chatted for 6 months, and she was also doing van life, and I decided to fly across to Germany to meet her, and we're gonna convoy across Europe in our vans. It was a very nice idealistic dream, and I was just gonna pop over to Germany and buy a van in a month and off we were gonna go. Well, that didn't happen that way. Then I looked at a few more and realized what shit there is out there. And now I'm on to van 4 and 5. No, actually no, these are 6 and 7. Because yesterday, Maya and I set off on a road trip to look at 2 T4s, low roof T4s. They were reasonable prices. We started our road trip, we got about 30 kilometers into the road trip, and I got a message from the one guy saying, no, sorry, the van broke down last night. Okay, so that's not for sale anymore. And then I thought, no, let's phone this other van just to make sure, so we don't drive an extra 100 kilometers for nothing. We phoned that guy and he was like, no, sorry, I sold the van yesterday. So I was like, where's people's loyalty, you know? There is none. Wow. After a very long day of traveling on the train, this is Hanover train station. It's as busy as, I don't know, there's so many people. This is what being on the ground looking for a van is like. You arrive in a strange city and you're in the middle of nowhere, following Google Maps, and then Google Maps is a bit slow on the uptake when you're walking, so you end up walking really far in the wrong direction. Yeah. Checking the brakes. Alright, test driving time. Cool. Okay, this is under the wheel arch here. Up in the air it goes. Now we can have a look-see underneath.
Sie sagt hier dieses bisschen.
Aha. See, the wheels aren't gonna fall off.
Sie hat gefragt, was das hier ist, weil hier so ein bisschen ölfeucht ist.
Das ist wahrscheinlich von oben läuft Motoröl. Das wird von diesem Ding wird's dann verteilt. Hier Rotation, das verteilt.
The car stands a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. And when he started, this is maybe from the rotation here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is from the motors it comes, but it's normal for a car like for this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dienstleitung, Bremsleitung hier, ne? Das muss hier alles sauber gemacht werden, genauso wie hier. Da muss das unter Bodenschutz. Ne?
Here you
Yeah.
have to clean this.
Yeah.
Here, yeah. And this is okay here, but this you have to clean it.
This is for the brakes?
Yes, for the
Okay.
brakes, yes.
All seems to be okay, but there's this one spot here that's mega rusty. I don't know if that's something to worry about. Like, there's quite a lot of fucking rust going on here.
Da ist kein Loch, aber das muss unter Bodenschutz hier eingebracht werden. Hier auch, guck mal, hier überall. Das ist halt unter Bodenschutz, weil wenn das nicht unter Bodenschutz, dann geht das irgendwann mal, ne, ist ja durch dann, ne?
I think there's a rat. A rat has been living in here. I just bought a van. Oh my word. It's been one hell of a roller coaster. It's been challenging. It was scary buying this car because it's got high mileage, and I had it checked out. The dealer dude was nearly pulling his hair out because I just wanted to have check after check after check done. He said it was the hardest sale he's ever done. Let the adventures begin! Also, just a side note, interesting thing for anyone wanting to buy a van during COVID in Germany at the moment. It's crazy. The whole world is so crazy. I paid double what I would normally have paid for the temporary yellow license plates. I paid 140 euros instead of 70, which is the current going rate. That was for the yellow plates and insurance for 5 days, so I can drive it across Germany and register it. Now I have a car. And Stitch and Ruby have a car. I'm so excited. Soon, my boofies, soon! These are my temporary number plates, which means it's the last time I'm going to be catching a train for a while. Okay, the chori is ready to rock and roll. I'm getting inside. And we're going to drive to Neto first. That's over there. That's my first drive. I'm going then. I'm going to park and think about life for a bit.